women are lovely because you guys are filled with love and affection, pure love.
Another video with foreshadowing.
Like me, if I had a son and he couldn't play sports, I'd be legitimately disappointed.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
I wouldn't tell him, but he'd probably feel it. I love you less.
What's the bet this guy is that wanker at the social gathering who never shuts up about back in his heyday he had a promising career as a professional basketball player in the NBA?
Then my other boy,
But his dream was shattered by a career-ending injury
who can shoot the 3 ball.
because he broke his fingernail trying to pop a zit between his butt cheeks. I also love that he's going to make his hypothetical children compete for his love and approval. That's healthy parenting.
I'd love you a little less.
He'll have to settle for a career as an obnoxious, insufferable, misogynist fucktard who loves spouting endless garbage and absolute nonsense and nothing of merit into podcast microphones because that's their one true love in life. They would love that more than their own hypothetical children, whilst the microphone would get more practical use if it was shoved up his rectum. And now he's going to project and force his children to live out his dream that he never managed to manifest for himself because he just wasn't good enough and he can't bear to live in a reality where that's the truth. And if and when those children fail to live out the dream that he forced on them, how much love do you think he'll have for his children then?
My wife, who's a good woman, she gonna love that kid all the same.
My guy is out here saying love for his own children is conditional.
She's not gonna feel any difference based on that kid underperforming in a basketball game. It doesn't matter to her.
His kids have to earn his love. And I'd beg to question whether this stipulation he's made up, he's only going to implement this and put this in place for his hypothetical children. Or is it also in place for his wife?
That's why I'm needed.
If this is your mentality around parenting, not only are you not needed, your children would be better off growing up without a father.
To make sure that he can perform.
When this guy's an old man, he'll be in his apartment alone because I would hope his hypothetical wife would come to her senses and leave his insufferable ass, sitting around wondering why his son, who is now an adult, wants nothing to do with him and doesn't want to spend any time with him.
And she's needed so that he knows it doesn't matter if he performs. That's the beautiful balance.
These are the same asshats who bang on about how women's love is conditional but men's love is unconditional.
I'm gonna let that soak in.
Let it marinate.
Hey, let that marinate.
They're sitting in silence wondering, why did I agree to come on this awful podcast? To sit with two insufferable, obnoxious losers who think they're God's gift to women. They're probably praying to God to invent a conversion therapy that turns them into a lesbian. You're going to be disappointed in your hypothetical son if he's not good at basketball. Were you any good at basketball? I bet the NBA is not knocking on your door. First round pick of the NBA draft for the Los Angeles Lakers, they choose insufferable, obnoxious prick 85 in the pink shirt who would love his son's less if they weren't good at basketball, despite probably having no skills at being a good basketball player himself. From another god-awful podcast that makes me jealous of deaf people. If my son wasn't good at something, I wouldn't belittle him for it. I would encourage him and support him to find his strengths. And I'll just remind my son, 78% of professional athletes post-retirement go broke within 3 years.